just no on all levels.
Yep.
This is exactly what we were fearing she would do.
Yes, we have liftoff.
Welcome back. Welcome.
Hello.
Back. That's
Hi.
Hey everyone, welcome back to another mukbang video.
Time to eat.
It is. Are you
A
hungry?
mukbang, eating show.
You know, they're always good when he's hangry.
I'm hangry.
I'm not yet.
Yeah, it's been 4 hours and 40 minutes since we finished breakfast.
Got the timer on. We're going to play good cop, bad cop.
It takes too long to prepare these things. The whining and dining has started anyway.
Yeah,
already.
it has started.
Pause the video, go and grab yourself a vegan meal, come back and eat with us. Let's eat together.
Now, first of all, well, that was cute.
Thank you.
That's like, let's get ready to roll.
We've done that before in a video, actually. It was
I
one
just
of our
wanna know
earlier
what the-
response videos. Remember that one? Yeah, to that FOUSEYTUbe.
Oh yeah, that was like one of our first
I know.
If you're new to the channel, you won't know anything that we've just said. Don't worry about it.
I'm going to link that FOUSEYTUbe one down below for people who laugh.
Don't do that.
Self-deprecation, eh?
I want to know what the neighbours downstairs think when we record these.
I don't.
What are you doing? Before we get started,
I just haven't shaved.
how's the new
But
look?
we deliberated whether I should shave or whether I should
What do you
keep
think?
it.
I mean, it's rugged. It's like,
very
you know,
rugged.
mountainous.
Yeah.
It should be chopping.
Mountainous.
Mountainous?
Mountain-esque.
Mountainous. You're a
Yeah.
lioness.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I don't want to be a mountain-esque. I'm happy with mountain-esque.
Yeah, it looks
Rugged. Yeah, rugged's a good
like
word.
it should be in a cabin in the woods, and it's not bad. What do you guys think? Should he keep it? Should he get it off? I don't do
It'll be gone
beards.
tomorrow. It gets
Probably.
too itchy, probably.
Yeah, it's a bit scratchy.
Yeah. The question, what we really want to know is it suitable at this point, at this length, for a video, or should it have been shaved?
I don't know. Get a close up. Get a close
I
up.
prefer not to.
Mm.
I think it's got too many grey and white whiskers in there, so it looks like salt and
Can
pepper.
you see his grey and white whiskers?
Yeah, hell yeah.
You're kidding. Oh, it's going to be 39 soon.
Yeah, next month.
My sugar daddy.
All
I'm
right.
only 38.
It's time to eat.
By the way, I don't like the full beard, so that's not happening. This
No.
is as far as it goes.
Yeah. It's probably a few days too long.
Probably.
I reckon, too.
Finished.
All right, what are we eating today? Yes, I'm finished. You
Oh
finished?
my god, you're going to kill me. He's
What?
done it again.
Yeah, sesame seeds. We said we wouldn't do them. Yeah, well, the dish requires them, but I didn't even think. I just totally forgot.
Last mukbang we recorded, I nearly choked and died on sesame
You
seeds.
did? I can't believe I made that faux pas
I think
again.
you're trying to kill me.
I'm not, I promise. Anyway, today, you won't be able to see this, but at the base of this bowl, we've got tri-coloured quinoa. So that's white, red and black, yeah? Then we've got brown and
Don't
red
ask me, you
rice.
cooked.
Brown and red rice. And then we've got stir-fry mixed veggies, got some bok choy in there. Some pan-fried tempeh, no oil used, just pan-fried.
Tempeh?
Tempeh, fermented soy. And then we've got some grilled jackfruit, grilled that in the oven.
Oh, sesame seeds.
And some sesame seeds sprinkled on top. And then we're going to top that off with peanut satay sauce, which is peanut butter, tamari, maple syrup, lemon juice, and cayenne pepper.
Ooh, it's got the double spoon.
I got the double spoon going.
That's not going to end well.
No,
it's
not happening. You know what the second spoon's for? It's to get the peanut butter off the first spoon that sticks to it.
Nice.
There you go.
Me
I'll give that
first?
to you.
You sure?
You first, yeah.
Okay. What are you guys eating?
Let us know in the comments below, and let everyone else know too, because we need vegan recipe idea
What do we
inspiration,
need?
don't we? Not us. Well, everyone.
Hey, I like one of your meals came from someone else sending you something.
And then other people have copied it.
Yeah, the Korean dish. So we get a lot of inspo from you guys too.
Braised tofu, spicy braised tofu.
It's your Korean dish.
Yeah, spicy braised tofu was the name of the dish.
I'm just going to start off by saying that this looks like vomit. It looks so bad, doesn't it?
And the great thing is it doesn't taste like vomit. It tastes fantastic.
But every time I stir it, I'm like, ugh.
Give it a go, guys. Peanut butter,
very good.
tamari, maple syrup, lemon juice or lime juice, and cayenne pepper.
Now, there's a technique.
Can you just get it in
No,
there? Come
no.
on, I've got it.
I know. Wait. Because if you put the dressing on the tempeh, it's going to absorb it, and then the vegetables are going to be bland. That's what I usually do to you. So I'm just going to take the tempeh and the jackfruit off. You meditate over there. Breathe.
Serenity now! Less laughing, more pouring.
You got to explain it. This is hilarious.
That's from Seinfeld, the Costanzas, George Costanza's parents. Frank and Marie?
Yes.
old married couple who just
Kill each other. And so
That's us.
There's a Serenity Now episode. Oh,
Yeah.
it's fun. That was perfect timing, Luca. Can I do yours?
No, just
Come on.
no.
Well, I don't know how much I've had.
Yeah, one more.
reckon?
We're good, yeah.
You sure? I don't cut you short.
I'm sure.
I'll take half of a spoon.
No, I meant a whole one because you complain if it's not flavoursome
No, it's not.
enough.
It's very flavoursome.
Come on. All right.
Wait, ready? Go.
Good.
Do you want me to take?
I don't need you to do anything.
It's going to be better for you.
You've got a point. It's not a bad technique.
Yeah, because then the
Yeah.
tempeh and the jackfruit will absorb
It's true.
everything.
It's true.
I need a spoon.
Yeah. All
Can I
right.
use that?
You can. All right.
You got to fluff. Remember the fluffing technique?
Yeah. The fluffing.
That's my technique.
I
You
know.
didn't like it.
I'm just saying. I remember it. I didn't dislike it, did I?
Yeah.
Was I staunchly opposed?
Yes, you go for the whole stir
Oh yeah,
fry.
ASMR, I apologise, but hey, you've got to get the last bits out of here. Yes, I could have a coconut, what is it, a spoon? Bamboo. But they probably make them out of coconut too.
I don't know, just stop with it, Luca.
I apologise.
Your apology doesn't negate the fact that it's annoying.
What am I going to do?
Just-
I really need that. I need this.
Do you know someone left a comment once saying, oh for God's sake, just stop
I know, but
it.
every drop counts.
It
It's
doesn't-
flavour. It's flavour. I know, it's terrible. I really apologise.
If you're new to the channel, this is what we do.
There's 50 more of these mukbangs, please.
Knock yourself out.
Alright.
Do you want your spoon back? Oh no, you got a spoon.
You, kick yourself now.
That's nice.
It's been sitting here for ages while it takes us, how long it takes us to set up the fan, the windows, the
It's fine.
camera. Is it alright?
Yeah, I just said that.
Okay.
Oh, look.
She started already. She started already.
I've got a problem with keeping food in my plate. I mean, look how big this bowl is. It still goes everywhere.
Mmm.
Peanut satay fixes everything. Even if you've got a meal that you don't really like.
Not what this was. Is that what you're implying?
No, I'm just saying like...
You sure? That's like the vegan Windex.
It fixes everything.
Have you seen My Big Fat Greek Wedding?
Yeah, where Windex is the solution for like just everything.
Peanut satay is that for vegan food, huh?
Do they still have Windex? Is that still a thing?
Probably. Glass cleaner, yeah.
It's good.
That's great.
Well, I don't think I'm going to choke on sesame seeds because I feel like they've got lost in the quinoa and absorbed by the dressing. Yeah, you've got quinoa on your lips.
Sesame seed.
So yeah, I feel like I might be safe.
I hope you are, because that was a bad experience, which...
Well, it would end really bad for you because if you did kill me by sesame seed on camera, everybody would know.
I wouldn't have much of an alibi, would I?
No.
Alright,
Should we get on with it?
let's get on with it.
Okay.
Today is an update Mukbang TEDxSydney News Desk Extravaganza.
And a response video. All
And
things.
a response
He's
video,
got notes
okay.
in front of him. Lots to cover. So we have had an amazing week that just passed. A little update for you guys. We had the honour, it was an honour, to interview a vegan activist, warrior, hero, just an amazing man. His name is Damien Mander.
He's the founder, director, CEO of the International Anti-Poaching Foundation, and you guys might know of him from his TED Talk, which was filmed about 5 or 6 years ago in Sydney. That's pretty much gone viral in the sense that it's had around 7 million views across various platforms. Over 300,000 on Facebook, on YouTube, and the millions came from Facebook.
From Facebook. So when we first watched his TED Talk, we were like, oh my God, his
Yeah.
story's amazing because he used to be with he's an Australian guy, And he used to be a soldier, a sniper, in fact, in the Australian Defence Force. Big macho, you know, kind of, well, a sniper.
The most macho of the macho.
Yeah.
You can't get any more macho than the snipers. You know, like they're special ops.
Just next level. So he's had this amazing transformation in his life, this journey from
hero's journey.
Yeah, to working in Africa against poaching, and he's now vegan, of course, and just the story and what he does out there and his team of a lot of women rangers, it is extraordinary. Anyway, the point is, we interviewed Damien on our podcast show.
It was like a bucket list for the podcast show, wasn't it?
It was a dream. We've wanted to have him on the show for so long. He was actually in Kenya when we recorded, and he was outdoors, and we had like birds chirping and natural sounds, and we're like, this is so cool.
Very authentic.
Wasn't it? Yeah.
Authentically African. That was great.
It was awesome. It really inspired us quite a bit. So,
in fact, some of the comments we've received from people who've listened to it already also found it inspirational. So that's great. That's what we want to do. Share the inspiration, motivate people, give people ideas, uplift people.
So I will link a sample video that you can watch or listen to of the episode, and then if you want to listen to the whole thing, it's available on Patreon for just $1 a month, and that gives you access to all of our other podcast episodes, and we do have 25 free episodes on our website.
Yes, and we're now on Spotify too. So a lot of people using Spotify these days, so check out our show on Spotify.
So that was super cool. We wanted to share that because wow.
That was great.
It was great. Okay, next update. I keep clapping between. I feel like this is a segment changer.
Yeah. It's the least we can do. Activism tour
2019.
Israel, Canada and Europe, and we've made some serious advancements, haven't we?
I know. Most of the flights are now booked. Can you believe it? It's really happening.
And buses.
And what we're up to now is looking for accommodation. So if you are in any of these European cities that are now showing on the screen, except for Vienna. Vienna is already taken care of.
Thank you very much to our Vienna fan.
Yes, any of the other cities, if you can help out with accommodation, that would be awesome if you have a spare room. But two things, no dogs indoors and no smoking, please, allergies. That would be really, really great. So you can email us. Please don't put it in the comments, and I'll put all this information down below in the description. If you can, help us out with the accommodation, that would be wonderful.
Thank you very much, Lee.
In advance. So it's pretty exciting that it's all happening.
It's
gaining momentum.
Yeah, we're moulding it. Yeah, massaging it, moving it forward every day, day by day. I mean, it's a big undertaking. Is it 22 huge. Cities?
Yeah,
22 cities.
Yeah, and there are so many speeches and things that we're doing along the way, in addition to our regular events. So we've got to start writing those.
Yeah.
Just breathe.
Anyway.
It's all good.
That's the update for the tours.
Okay. Get on to the news desk?
Yeah, the news desk items. So,
big announcement. It's official. Canada
are not baby cows.
I should say Canadians.
Yeah.
Just made it sound like
grammatically
a country.
that didn't work.
Yeah, no, that didn't work.
Canadians are not baby cows. It's official.
Amazing. So what we're talking about is the
Canadian Food Guide
has been revised for 2019,
and dairy has been removed as a food group, as has meat. Which is fantastic,
in our opinion, and in the animals' opinion. It's not a food group. It's someone's life,
it's
violence. So this is big news. This kind of like sets a precedent.
Yeah, they've also encouraged a lot more plant-based eating, haven't they? Particularly to plant-based proteins.
Yeah, well, hold on. If you look at like 3/4 of the plate is all plants. So you've got fruits and vegetables and whole grains, right? And then instead of calling it meat, they're calling it the protein section. And I counted. Oh, I should have written it down. I think there were like 8 plant options and 5 animal product options in the little section here, the quarter.
So it's a real advancement, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, they've got some red meat, white meat, looks like a bit of dairy, yogurt or something, and an egg, and some fish. And then the rest are tofu and beans, nuts, just high protein plant foods that, you know, you have an option for. Sesame seed, maybe.
Now, probably should have investigated this further, but has dairy been removed altogether, or it's just been removed as an official food group? For example,
an official food group.
Oh, okay, so that could well be dairy. That's
dairy. That little thing there.
Because I was hoping it was hummus or something.
That's cute. No, when we were growing up as kids, you know, remember we used to have a food pyramid?
Yeah.
And the meat section would be an actual food group, and then dairy would be a food group.
Yeah.
So to take out dairy as a food group altogether is absolutely brilliant. And the fact that they've changed the meat section to just the protein to include more plants, I mean, that is incredible. It's such an advancement. Obviously, it's not vegan yet, and there are obviously things that they can still improve, but wow. And they've changed what you should be drinking. They've got water. I think in the past it used to be milk.
Could well be.
Right? So that's excellent.
What's interesting, what I found interesting anyway about this is that last year, if I'm not mistaken, the Canadian government announced that it was going to invest $250 million in the Canadian dairy industry.
I don't understand that, considering this is what they've done.
The two are completely contradictory, aren't they?
A lot of people have supported this change, but I'm going to read you, here we go, a response.
You want the good stuff as well as the...
give me the good stuff too.
Canadian Medical Association CMA President Dr. Gigi Osler said the CMA was pleased with the federal government's overall direction in the new food guide and particularly supportive of the evidence-based review and extensive consultation process used to draft the new guide to ensure it was founded on unbiased research.
There you go. So this isn't vegan propaganda stuff.
But the dairy industry is less pleased with the new advice, with one group releasing a statement saying, Dairy Farmers of Canada remains concerned that the updated food guide does not reflect the most recent and mounting scientific evidence available.
That were baby cows.
Yeah, because until you find that out, it's not for us. It's not food for humans. It's food for baby cows. The organisation's manager of health education, Lee Fennell, added that milk is a good source of nutrients, listing calcium, magnesium, zinc and vitamin D, saying these are really important nutrients and Canadians aren't already getting enough of them. They're
really good nutrients if you're a baby cow. Now, we can get all of those nutrients from plant foods. So, yeah, needed.
Yeah.
Good.
Or sunshine in the case of vitamin D. Yeah.
That's right. Yeah. There you go. Very positive. Great step. A lot of people were messaging us about this.
Yeah, and there was a good meme that came out of it. All the animals were watching the Canadian food guide on television being announced. And yeah.
Exactly. And I think a few people were also sending us pictures of like ads that were on TV or in the newspaper.
No, the dairy industry responded, didn't they?
Dairy's
basically saying it's very nutrient dense, blah, blah, blah. Yeah.
Exactly. So you're going to have that, of course. That's all dairy can do. They're obviously feeling very threatened that this is the beginning of the end, which it is. Their sales are going to go down, and once there's not enough money in it, then the industry will just collapse.
Yeah, they've been doing that for 80 years. When they released in the paper the other day, pushing the whole, it's a nutrient, it's nutrient dense for a baby cow.
Exactly. And this was a quote that I found in another source, actually. Do you want to read that one out?
This is not the first time the Canadian government has shown its support for plant-based proteins. Last year it invested $150 million in Protein Industries Supercluster Canada, a non-profit that aims to make Canada a world leader in plant-based protein.
That's really great.
That's fantastic. Again, it's contradictory to the $250 million they invested in the Canadian dairy industry.
Weird. I don't understand that.
You know, it's,
Yeah. Anyhow, I think it is setting a bit of a precedent. I think it's a great example. And I hope that many other countries follow when they renew their food guidelines. Yes. It's good. So we look forward to seeing this food plan in action in Canada this year. Our Canadian fans will be coming in June and July. See you then. Felt like it was a little commercial.
Yeah.
See you soon. Next news. Back to Australia.
This made waves.
Oh my God.
Recently here in Australia.
It's been such a big week.
Yeah.
It's just...
So Aussie Farms, the organisation behind the documentary film Damien that was released last year, they have put together an online interactive map showing the 5,000 factory farms and slaughterhouses in Australia. They've also collated all of the details of those farms, which is publicly available information. They've simply collated into one interactive online map.
Now, when you say details, we're talking about addresses, phone numbers, everything. So it's
photos
really,
and videos that have come out of those farms in some cases and slaughterhouses.
it's really exposing the truth
Yeah.
and who's responsible for this. Now, again, this is public information.
That's right.
So they haven't done anything illegal.
All they've done is collect
Collected
that
it.
public information.
And
yeah.
let people know about it, right? It's all there, but no one knows. Consumers don't know.
And it wasn't just the factory farms and slaughterhouses, it was other animal harming other animal harming. I did. I'm talking, I'm eating,
Is
I'm
it the
breathing.
beard? Are you feeling like all like caveman-like? That sounded like a robot then. What was that?
It also includes other animal harming industries.
Yes, it
so
does.
like zoos and
and
rodeos and race courses.
Yeah. So basically, it has been an absolute poo storm over here. Farmers have gone crazy over it. Lots of coverage, which is fantastic because it is forcing the issue into the mainstream to be discussed.
That's right.
And they're not liking it. Like basically, the whole premise is that you are putting families with children at risk because you're putting all these details online. And it's like, hold on. First of all, again, this is public information. Yeah, farmers live on these properties, but if there's nothing wrong with what they're doing on the properties, then what's the big deal? And activists are not interested in hurting farmers or their families or anyone. We're just interested in what's happening to the animals. So I read somewhere a post on Facebook, I think it was, over 40 years of activism, animal rights activism in Australia, no farmer has ever been harmed. And that's not the intention of the movement. So farmers have nothing to fear regarding their personal safety, of course.
They fabricate death threats so that they can play the victim card in the eyes of the general public, so get the general public on side with them and actually ignore the real victims, the animals that they are harming. But that's just a tactic. There's been no evidence
nothing.
Of, because that, as you said, that's not the motive of it.
No,
Animal rights
no one's
activists.
interested in doing that, of course. So one thing that we noticed was a lot of news reports on this topic were actually showing some footage about what happens on Australian farms, which is fantastic. I mean, they're putting the images on mainstream TV. And the reports always start with something like, warning, some images may be disturbing. And then they have to blur it out. And it's like, mate, if there's nothing wrong with what's happening on these farms, then why do you need to give the warning and why do you need to blur it out? Done.
Simple as
That's
that.
it.
Simple as that.
So that's been fantastic.
And the other thing is, we're not talking about rogue operators. This is standard industry practice that Aussie Farms is trying to bring the general public's awareness to.
Yeah.
So we're talking about, the mutilation of newborn piglets, having their testicles ripped out without anesthesia. Yeah. We're talking about having their heads slammed against the concrete if they're runts of the litter or sick in any way. These are standard legal industry practices that the average Australian consumer would be shocked and horrified to learn.
Baby male chicks, day-old male chicks being ground up alive in an industrial macerator.
Or gassed, or suffocated in plastic bags.
These are things that consumers don't know. And so the whole premise of this map and Aussie Farms was all about transparency. Let the consumers know and see. And then they can make an educated choice from that position. But until they know, how do you choose? How do you know any different? This is an industry that has thrived because of secrecy. This is what Chris Delforce, the director of Dominion and the founder of Aussie Farms, is always talking about in these news reports. He's always talking about transparency. Show it all. If you've got nothing to hide and there's nothing wrong, then what's the big deal?
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
So, I feel like...
It's a consumer rights issue.
Yes, that's what he's been saying. That's what he's been saying. And this is one of the most important moments, I think, in animal rights history, certainly in this country. It is changing a lot of things. It's really peeing a lot of people off, and that's a good thing. It's making people have the debate and think about it.
Well, with all change comes some level of agitation. Otherwise, we just have inertia. So this kind of agitation is necessary.
It's a good thing. And so much discussion. So much discussion. We want to talk about... Okay, so what a lot of these... for example... Start again. Fiona Simpson, the president of the National Farmers Federation, and other members of parliament or bodies that are supporting animal agriculture, what they're all saying is that these are family farms.
that Australia essentially doesn't have factory farms.
Wow. Wow. Really? Are you serious? Yes, families run these farms, but families also run factory farms. You know, all farmers come from families.
That's right.
I don't understand.
If it's an intensive farming operation, it doesn't matter who owns it, whether it's a family or a corporation, it's an intensive farming operation, i.e. a factory farm.
So actually going on national television and saying that Australia doesn't have factory farms, it's just like, oh, whoa, are you serious? You're now lying? Are you just like, ooh, what's going on?
And even small family farms, it's important to note that the techniques and processes used on factory farms originated from small family farms before there were any factory farms. So
it's all the same thing. Really, shouldn't the concern be that children are actually living on these farms where all these horrific things are happening to animals?
Exactly.
Right? Like,
yeah.
Look at it from a different perspective.
That's right. Dr. Ash, vegan neuropsychologist, said, so it's okay for children to live on farms where animals are mistreated and sent off to be killed, but it's not okay to collate publicly available names and addresses of those farms. Makes sense if you don't think about it. Spot on. Spot on.
And if you do think about it, you end up where we are. Vegan. Because that's the only logical choice. And one more thing I just want to touch on. The way this story developed over the week was that Federal Minister for Agriculture and Water Resources, David Littleproud, I love that name. Can you believe it? Yes, David, you have very little to be proud of in that position.
Exactly. He was challenged by Aussie Farms Executive Director Chris Delforce to a public debate.
Yes. So this is the guy who went on national television and said that these activists won't stop until we're all eating grass.
Isn't it just such a pathetic... I mean, does this look like grass? I mean, we've got mukbang videos here eating Domino's vegan pizzas with vegan cheese. We've got
this is a member of
mukbangs here
Parliament.
with eating Hungry Jack's or Burger King vegan cheeseburgers, you know? It's...
How can a member of Parliament go on national television and say grass, though? Vegans eat grass. Our taxpayer dollars are paying for his bloody wage.
It's crazy, isn't it?
That's incredible.
Yeah.
And so anyway, he was challenged to a public debate, would have been fantastic. And Chris from Aussie Farms did say in his letter to Littleproud,
your position, as I understand it, is that Australian farmers have nothing to hide and are leading the world in animal welfare. If this is the case, I imagine you'd be happy to openly discuss the legal, standard practices employed by this industry within the wider context of the ethics of raising animals for food.
And of course, he declined the debate. It says everything.
Those who have nothing to hide, hide nothing. So
if he did the debate, it would have been golden, because he would then have to get on mainstream, you know, on the public stage and defend gassing pigs and grinding up babies.
And shooting day-old male baby calves with a bolt gun to the head, or blunt force trauma with a hammer, for example.
And if he declined, as he has done, well, that just means that he's not prepared to defend those things.
Yeah.
So
it's a win-win.
Exactly.
So kudos to Aussie Farms for bringing this into the mainstream for conversation and potential debate.
Yeah, and I feel like this is only just the beginning. It's, yeah, it's something. It's happening. You know, when we saw this come out, we're like, oh, it's heating up. It's heating up.
Well, it needs to, again. Any change requires some form of agitation.
Absolutely. All right. Speaking of agitation.
Oh, good segue. Very good segue.
Bonnie Rebecca's latest What I Eat in a Day video.
Yeah, had a few requests to respond to this.
Yeah.
Let's just start by saying Bonnie's initial video, Why I'm No Longer Vegan, has already had over 900,000 views in...
About a week.
I think it's about 2 weeks now.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, I don't know why I said the week.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh, thereabouts, I think.
Well, anyway, whatever. I'll step into 14 days to have almost 1 million views.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
On a channel with 360,000, you know, it shows you how many people are interested to hear why someone is no longer vegan.
Yeah.
Anyway, 1 week later, she's put out a What I Eat in a Day video, and that video has already had over 280,000 views in 2 days. And that's the time of filming this video. So
That's
again,
just,
over 250,000 people
oh
wanting to
God.
know what someone who is no longer a vegan is now eating in a day.
Yeah. It's a scary
And
number.
we predicted it, didn't we?
Well, that's the thing. As soon as we saw this, we're like, we said it was going to happen. This was worst case scenario. We didn't want this to happen. This is like, just no on all levels.
Yep.
This is exactly what we were fearing she would do, and she did it, unfortunately. So
we were already critical of the fact that Bonnie had gone back to eating animal products, and we explained why in that last response video we made. I mean, that's one thing, but to go and show and promote and to glamorize and normalize the consumption of animal products to a huge audience
in what I eat in a day
audience,
videos, that's like that's taking it next level,
is.
next stage, which is not necessary. So anyway, yeah, people were contacting us saying, please check out our video, can you respond? And yes, we will respond to this because we feel like it's our job to create that balance, to talk about the ethics, to defend the animals, and just to give people another side, because I know that from so many comments and messages that we can see, people can very easily be misled into thinking that humane animal products exist, which they don't, but that is what Bonnie is now propagating. And so we really do need that proper education about this topic and really come in with some ethics. So that's why we're here. Okay, all right, so we've just taken, we're not going to respond to everything, we've just taken out a specific section of her video. For all the health related stuff and everything, you can go back and watch our original response to her. We'll link that down below. That's very thorough. How are you going? You're
Good.
almost finished. I'm nowhere near
That's all right.
today. I'm taking my time so I don't choke.
Yeah. No, you're doing well. Not choking is important.
Kind of, yeah. Before we get into it, I think the first thing when we watched her video, the very first thing that we noticed and kind of wanted to say was that it opens with this.
You wanna come up? You wanna come in? Sit. Oh, he's being cute. He's being pretty. Alright.
And it's beautiful, and I just can't help but think that it may be a little strategic at this point, like, look, I'm still an animal lover.
Yeah, it felt very staged to me, personally.
Just, yeah. I'm about to show you the animal products I'm eating.
Everyone is an animal lover.
Yeah.
But really what they mean when they say that is they're a pet lover and they love to eat animal products. That's more accurate for most people.
So, anyway, I felt like that was just kind of strategic. And, alright. The egg scene.
And here are the eggs that I have at the moment. Usually I get them from the farmers markets, but if not, I get them from my local health food shop.
Okay, so just because something comes from a health food shop, that doesn't mean that it's healthy. So again, we're not going to get into all the health issues because we did that in our previous video, but just remember, as we said previously, that the USDA,
who is responsible for promoting the sale of animal products, actually says to the egg industry, you cannot use the words healthy or safe and a whole list of other synonyms to describe eggs, to advertise eggs, because they are neither healthy nor safe. So this is an organisation that has an interest, a monetary interest in promoting the sale of eggs, have said to the egg industry, you can't say those are healthy or safe.
that shows everything.
Yeah, that's
just
it.
a little carton of toxic balls that fall out of a hen's cloaca. Really, let's call it for what it is. Just because it's from a health food store doesn't mean it's healthy.
And some things that I obviously look out for is organic, free range, but also over here they will always tell you, oh, my microwave just went off, the maximum amount of hens per hectare. So 600 hens per hectare is really good, and that's just something that I like to look out for. Means that they have a lot of room and it's really ethical, humane conditions. So that's something that I always look at before I get eggs.
How can slavery ever be ethical or humane? It's as simple as that. These chickens are slaves. They're enslaved. They're enclosed. As soon as you enclose another being and own that being as property under the law, that's slavery. It doesn't matter whether it's a non-human animal or a human animal.
Now, their enclosure is obviously a very large area. They're on the farm. I've looked at their website. They've got beautiful pictures. It is not in a factory farm setup. They are not caged birds.
Having said that,
they are
many
still...
human slaves 150 years ago had, you know, high welfare conditions. Their slave masters treated them well. They had, you know, nice living quarters or what have you.
I guess the point, what we're trying to express here, is that the use of animals for their products, for the things that come out of their bodies, their secretions, to make money from, to sell and make a business of, that is not okay, because animals are not here for us to use. They're here to share this planet with and to live their lives as they choose. And these animals are only being bred into existence solely for the purpose of taking something from them and selling it.
Yeah. Alice Walker said it best when she said animals are not here for us. You know, they're here for their own purposes. They're here for us no more than black people are for white people or women are for men. It was so well said.
That was. Okay, so let's take a closer look at this carton of eggs. You can see here down the side they're listing all of the good things, all the positive things. What they don't mention...
Well, just good and positive.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah. They don't mention two things. The first is that the chickens would have originally come from a hatchery. Now this is where all the babies are sorted male to female. The females would end up being sent to this farm. The males, what happens to those, Bonnie? What happens to the males?
Yeah, deemed useless by the industry because they won't lay eggs or won't grow big enough, fast enough for meat production. So they are killed on their first day of life.
They're the ones that are put into an industrial grinder, a macerator, and they're ground up alive. This footage is so shocking that we can't put it here on our channel. Okay, I'll link things down below so you can go and watch it. But if you're going to talk about all the wonderful things about this farm, let's talk about the reality of how the hens ended up there on the first place. They've come from a hatchery. The other thing is that once these hens stop producing eggs, once their production declines, what is the farm going to do with them? Most farms will send them to a slaughterhouse or maybe kill them on the farm themselves.
Because it's not profitable to keep them alive, to feed them.
And we have to remember that the more...
Or to house them.
Yeah, the more we take hens' eggs, the more they're going to produce. And it's like a menstruation for them. So it's very taxing on their body, even if the amount of eggs taken from these hens may be less than, say, a factory farm, an industrial farm, high-scale production. They're still taking more than the hens would naturally produce. Therefore, it's very taxing on their body. It leaches a lot of calcium, makes them weaker. And we're not supposed to be taking the eggs from the hens. That's theirs. They can do whatever they want with them. It's not for us to sell. So none of this is put on this carton here. And this is the whole humane myth. There's a good way, an ethical way to take something from someone.
And yeah, I'm just going to crack 2 of those into a bowl and whisk them up. I always add in salt and pepper to the actual mixture. Whisk it up.
Kind of feel like we're watching a Sarah's Day video.
Yeah.
I've got to be honest, we've responded to her a few times.
Yeah. The glamorization of animal products. When you've got that music as the background that's funky and chill and cool.
It's trying to normalize the process of taking an excretion from an animal, cooking it up and putting it into our bodies.
Yeah. If Bonnie were truly ethically opposed to egg consumption, then she wouldn't be glamorizing it the way she just has. Of course, in her Why I'm No Longer Vegan video, she said, I'm ethically okay with these eggs, which we've also responded to in that previous video.
Again, this is the thing. This is what we're thinking. Okay, so it's one thing to be in the position that she found herself in with her health and justify to herself, yes, I need to eat animal products. Okay. I mean, it's not okay, but just okay for now. Then it's quite another thing to go and put the eating of these animal products on your channel to so many hundreds of thousands of people to watch. That sends out a message that this is now okay. Now she has to do this, of course, because she has to justify it to herself. She has to convince herself that it's okay to do. And so therefore, by getting her audience to also think that it's okay, it's kind of reinforcing that for her. I think it's just trying to normalize the whole thing.
Yeah, but in my opinion, it is you'd say malpractice if it was, you know, like a doctor, for
I think
example.
It's just irresponsible.
It's irresponsible. That's the word I'm looking for. Yeah, it's absolutely irresponsible given the health implications of eating eggs with their saturated fat, cholesterol and animal protein, all of which link to our leading causes of death like heart disease, type 2 diabetes, some form of cancer, etc., as well as promoting, most importantly, the exploitation of other beings.
Because the thing is, not everyone, and I'm not saying that these eggs that she's eating are okay, not by a long shot, but it's also giving people kind of a bit of a green light so that if they start to look for these kind of labels and on their egg carton, then all of a sudden, oh, well, Bonnie's doing it. And you know,
I've got some digestive issues, you know, seems to be working for her, so, you know, I might try it out. You
know, actually, in terms of the carton, I want to go back and have another look. This is what we have to be really aware of. Look at all the keywords, the click words, if you like: organic, free range, humane choice, Australian certified organic. So you got like all these labels all over it. And this is what we're talking about. That industry will put these labels on animal products to make us feel really comfortable with eating animals.
But there's no right way to do the wrong thing at the end of the day. It's as simple as that.
Yeah.
So the other thing that's important to note is there's no need for Bonnie to show and film her consumption of animal products.
No.
So if it's one thing for her to be doing that in her private life because of health issues that she just can't overcome or what have you. Again, we addressed that in a previous video, not saying we agree with it, but it's one thing to do that. And it's another thing to put it, you know, on your channel and promote it to your huge impressionable audience. You don't, just because something happens in your life doesn't mean you have to put it on YouTube. We don't show everything that happens in our lives, nor should anyone. You know, no one is morally obligated to do it. In fact, we have a moral obligation to make sure that we're putting out ethical content.
Well, this is what I don't understand. So he's like, we were going for a walk this morning and we were talking it out. I'm like, I am just so confused. Because she said that she was so distressed about having to go back to animal products. And it was a really big thing for her, and she was just devastated, and it went against everything that she believed for so many years, and it was such a hard thing to come to terms with. And in fact, she didn't even really talk too much about the ethics and the animal side to it because it was just too painful from what we could understand. Had a few tears and everything. And yet, how does she go from that to then showing herself cooking and eating animal products?
That's right, because if she really felt like that, why is she doing that?
Do you know what I mean?
They're
why
not
are you putting it on your
congruent.
channel? She's putting it on her channel because she wants to, again, normalize it. And this is, her channel is largely built around lifestyle and food and what I eat videos. And so what else is she can do? She can do a million other things with the channel.
She can. And she can also just
showing this.
Yeah.
I mean,
just show the plant-based food that you eat. You know, don't promote and show the animal products.
Because whether you like it or not, you're an influencer. You are. I mean, at the beginning of her video, she said, look, if you're vegan and it's working for you and everything's going great, then obviously stick to it. I'm not trying to get you to eat animal products. So that's all really good. But then you include and normalize the animal products part, and it's just a bit of a contradiction. And I was thinking, you know, if I was in her position, and it's impossible to even kind of think that because I would never eat the animals, but just say for the sake of this hypothetical situation, if I was eating animal products, I would be kind of rocking in the corner with guilt and just disgust. I couldn't get my head around it. The last thing I would do is make it seem like there is an ethical way to do this to my audience. I would never be showing it or promoting it.
And then put some funky, chill music as the backing track while you're cooking up the hens periods?
What is that? There's no need for that at all. Do what you need to do in your private life, but Bonnie, take this off your channel. Alright.
So I'm just going to quickly cook off the spring onions and the tomatoes first. So then I just poured the eggs into that mixture, and I'm just going to let that cook now for a few minutes, and then fold it in half. Fold this in half. Perfect.
It's romanticizing the cooking of... You're now giving people an actual recipe. You think people aren't going to try this? Of course they're going to try this. Of course they're going to try this. And I think I didn't finish my sentence earlier on. I was trying to say that they may not have access to a farm or to eggs that come from a place like Bonnie's. Again, I'm not saying where she's getting them is okay, but it could be a lot worse. A lot of these humane free-range, cage-free farms are just as bad as the battery hen farms. They're awful. Again, we'll link information down below. And so now all of a sudden people are thinking, oh, okay, yeah, I'm going to try that recipe out. I'll see if it helps me the way it's helped Bonnie. Oh, it just has to be cage-free. Yep, sure. And then you're supporting an industry that is just, it's horrific what they're doing to animals. Oh, I'm feeling really...
Understandably.
She didn't need to do this.
No.
She didn't need to put this online.
It's probably super weird to see me cooking eggs, like...
Yeah,
they're hens periods. It's weird to see anybody eating hens periods. We wouldn't eat the period of any other animal. You know, it's just... That's
what it is. It's the equivalent of a menstruation. If you're new to this idea, I know it just sounds like, what did he just say? But that's the equivalent of a menstruation.
Yeah, so totally weird. Yes, eating animals and their secretions is weird.
I don't know, it just feels really weird to film it. Like, I've been eating this way for like 6 months now, and obviously I've gotten used to it, but filming it just... it feels strange.
Yeah,
it should feel strange.
You know, there was a lot of smiling and sort of snickering going on.
Well, again, I think she's just trying to normalise it because she's trying to get on with her life and make everything back to normal, but it's not normal and it's not... I don't think it feels good for her to do it.
So don't do it.
I know, just don't do it.
If it really honestly doesn't feel good and you really are opposed to it, then don't film it.
But she has to tell herself, again, I'm just like, you know, analysing this. I think she has to... in order to be able to do this, has to feel like it's okay. Like she's not doing validation. She's not doing the bad thing or the wrong thing. So therefore, putting it out there, you know, this is a normal thing. I'm okay.
Yeah. And she knows she's going to get support in the comments.
Of course she
and
is.
She'll latch onto that support, ignore the criticism.
Just show the plant-based stuff. And you know, there are parts of what I eat that I can't show you because I don't want to encourage other people to eat animal products or to think that this is a normal thing for the planet, for the animals, but whatever. I'm repeating myself.
What I love about this lunch is that it's so quick and easy. Literally took me like 5 minutes to do that. And that is the finished result.
Yeah.
Massive problem here.
Massive. Who doesn't want a quick, easy, fast recipe? You know, everybody wants that. So that is a green light for people to go ahead and try that recipe out. You've just promoted it in a very positive, enticing, positive way.
You know, it wasn't, I'm really sorry I have to turn the camera off and make lunch and I don't want to show this. And
let's glamorize it, let's put the backing track music and let's say it's fast and easy. And what I really love about this meal, this is what we don't get and we just... It's contradictory. It really,
if you
is.
actually,
I couldn't leave that there.
if you actually care about animals and you don't want to encourage the use of animal products in any way, then you would just never do it.
The last thing you'd do.
And I feel like she's eased her audience into it. So she said every second day she'll like eggs one day, fish the next, eggs one day, fish the next.
Mark our words, the fish are coming. Just like the eggs we called that she'd be including the animal products, you know, what I eat in a day videos, and she has done so.
Fish will be
the fish is coming.
It's like eggs are the gateway.
Yeah.
You know, and then comes the flesh.
Yeah.
And
it'll be organic,
wild
caught, blah blah.
It's someone's body. And the dog that she loves and was kissing and being so affectionate with right at the beginning.
Yeah, because
organic,
the fish that she's
range,
eating want to live every bit as much as her dog, as do, you know, the baby male chicks that are ground up alive.
That's right. If there was science that came out tomorrow saying that eating dog meat was going to help with digestion and Bonnie decided to do that, would she have support from her audience? No, because we're speciesist generally, and we draw that arbitrary line. So we're only accepting this because she's chosen to eat some animals and not others.
They're our thoughts. What do you think? We'd love to hear from you. Put your comments down below. Were you as affronted and disappointed and frustrated by Bonnie's What I Eat in a Day video as we were and have been? Yeah, did you know she was going to do it as well? Did it come as a surprise, or did you predict it as well?
It'd just be so easy for her to leave this out. Just leave it out. Just don't promote it, Bonnie. Don't show it. Don't make people think that it's okay for organic and free range and cage free and all that humane BS. That's not the reality of the majority of these farms.
Yeah. Don't buy the humane lie. Animals do not want to die. And animals die every time we consume animal products, be it milk, eggs, or flesh.
So, there will be a lot of resources below in the description under this video.
As there always are, every video.
Every video.
Yeah.
Please educate yourselves on this. And thank you for watching to this point. I feel like we should have set this at the beginning, but we wanted to end on a positive, right?
Oh, yeah.
Right?
One of the feedback that we received from the first video.
Because, the thing is, a lot of people leave comments on these kind of response videos saying, you know, it's none of your business, that she can do what she wants, it's her channel, who are you to test, like everything.
I responded to one of those this morning, actually.
Oh, it was a really good response. But the thing is, those people, they never watch to the end, they never take it all in.
This person didn't watch it all, the one that I responded to.
Yeah, some people don't. I'm not going to watch this video, I'm just letting you know that you're judging and you're annoying and you're this and that. Well, aren't you judging us for making commentary on someone else?
And how closed-minded not to even watch it at all and to...
Oh, yeah. Anyway, the point is, if you are one of those people, thank you for watching to this point in the video. And we wanted to end on a positive. Let me find...
So this is a comment that we received on regarding our last response video to Bonnie Rebecca's Why I'm No Longer Vegan video.
This is exactly why we make these response videos and why we will always make them.
Hello, I just wanted to send you this message. I know you said in your video about Bonnie Rebecca, I followed her not because she was vegan, but more so because I liked her, that people were feeling confused, etc., and also people telling you not to make reaction videos. I found your video as it was suggested under hers.
Good.
I sat and watched the entire video and no lie stayed up until 3 AM watching hundreds and hundreds of your other videos.
Over 760. Wow.
I just joined...
that's not how many she watched, that's how many we've got on the channel.
I just joined the Vegan 22 challenge and will be switching over both my diet and lifestyle as I was not vegan prior. I guess my message is to urge you to keep reacting, keep responding. I would have never found your videos and your channel if it wasn't for that video, and you would not have opened my eyes to the hurt and suffering the animals go through and the damage we are doing to our bodies. You guys are amazing and have gained a new fan and admirer over here.
Thank you.
It seems a lot of people are leaving veganism. They are only big influencers, but this is what I see. But please know, for every person who is leaving this lifestyle, your reaction videos are opening the eyes of hundreds and hundreds more. So thank you. Keep being awesome, guys.
That's amazing. And yeah, that's exactly why we do them. Again, as I said at the beginning, to create that balance. So to see something...
To defend the animals.
Yeah. You know, to always go back to the victims and think about the broader ramifications of what or who we put into our mouths.
And if you think we've been harsh in any way, please put yourself in the position of the victims and ask yourself, would I want people defending my life or not? If the answer is yes, that's what these response videos are. If the answer is no, well, then you had a death wish and you didn't want to live. But animals want to live. We all want to live.
Yeah. End of the day, no need for her to be promoting the animal products that she's now eating. There's a way to live her life partly off camera, and there's just no need. Just focus on the plants and do what you're going to do off camera, Bonnie. And it's not a lie. It just, as Lucas said, we all have parts of our lives that we don't show online. That's normal. That's normal, especially when we're talking about others' lives being, you know, affected by what we show. It's just, that's it.
So leave your comments down below regarding the Bonnie situation and regarding any of the other stories like the Canadian food guide changes, the Aussie farms map. Yeah, let us know. We'd love to hear from you.
So much. Whew, that was a big one.
Yeah.
I feel like we've done a little world tour. Thank you so much for watching.
Really appreciate it. Hope you've enjoyed dining with us. We've enjoyed dining with you.
I've still got so much more. I'm going to finish this up. No, I need it. I've been doing so much talking. Leave my food. Okay, what else? Like, comment, share, subscribe. A lot of information in the description below, including our, what's it called? Email address. Again, if you can help out with any accommodation for the Europe tour, that'll be great. And all podcast information linked down below. Thank you, Damien, Mander, for being on the show.
What a champion. Let us know if you've listened to the podcast as well.
I'm going to zip it. Let's go. Ending.
Remember until next time that going vegan is not the most we can do.
It's the least we can do. See you next video.
Bye, everyone.